welcome to Sew Pretty Kitty. This is my vlog where I talk about all the things I love about sewing. Thanks very much for subscribing, all you new people out there. I noticed I had a few extra, so welcome to the channel. I hope you enjoy what you see today. It's going to be my December and January makes, and December is always a bit of a month where it's Christmas. I make a few presents for people. I don't really make a lot of clothes. So December, not so many. January, I've been on fire. I'm full of enthusiasm. I want to make all the things. I'm buying all the fabric. I think it's because it's a new year and there's all these opportunities and you just generally feel optimistic and excited. So yeah. Today's video is going to be all about what I made in December and January. So if that's what you're interested in, please stick around. So what shall I start with? I'm telling you now, there may not have been a lot of quantity, but I feel as if my makes in January have been real quality pieces that will last me for a long time and fit really well. So although there's not many to talk about, I feel as if they are actually really good ones. So I hope you enjoy them. I'm going to start off with what I'm wearing. So this is a shop bought t-shirt, but it's what's down on below that's interesting, and I'm going to show you the pattern, and I'm sure you've seen it before. So Tilly and the Buttons released the Jessa trousers last year, I think, sometime, and I have to say I haven't seen all that many pairs on Instagram. I don't know how popular the pattern is, but I really like it. And when I first saw the illustration on the front, I don't think I'd ever wear a pair of pale pink jeans, but the idea of making these in a darker colour, and I'm loving the wide leg, really appealed to me. So if you caught up with a previous vlog, I think it was, I'll put a card in, but it was a couple of vlogs ago when I made a pair of these Jessa trousers out of some black corduroy that I'd found in my stash at home, and it had no stretch in it. And the instructions on the pattern envelope ask you to use a little bit of elastane in the fabric will make them extra comfy. Well, it says it's not required, but I can tell you now, those corduroy trousers, I can have them on for about half an hour and then they just all bag out. The waistband sort of gets baggy and the knees go baggy, and I think that's the trouble with fabrics without a tiny bit of elastane in. They do tend to get bigger as you wear them, and when you've spent a lot of time trying to fit something perfectly, that's annoying. So this time, because I'd made a toile, and this is the key, I don't very often make toiles, but they are a good idea because the original pair that I made, I knew I wanted to make a couple of adjustments to make this pair. So I knew I wanted to take a bit out of the rise. They are extremely high-waisted. So, and I think I must have quite a short torso anyway. So I took 1/4 inch out of the rise, or you know, the front and back of the trousers, so that it wasn't so high on my waist. And in order to do that, you have to remember also to take the same amount out of the zip guard and the fly front, and that also means that your zip is going to be a bit shorter, so just bear that in mind if you did decide to make adjustments to them. And I also took quite a bit out of the length. So it's all very well, you can take length off the bottom of a pattern sometimes when you make it, but when something is shaped in a particular way, like for example the kilo wrap dress, if you take the length off the bottom, you're then actually quite altering the shape of the garment. So I used the length and shorten lines to take at least, I think I took 1.5 inches off these trousers, and then I ended up turning them up by 1.5 inches. So they're reasonably long, and I'm 5'4". And also the other thing I did was, if I show you the line drawing, they're flared, so they get to about the knee and then they kick out. And I didn't necessarily want a pair of flares, I wanted a pair of wide leg trousers, so I just gradually sort of graded that down and blended out that sort of kicking out part at the bottom of the trousers to make the legs slightly straighter up and down rather than more of a sort of pronounced flare. And the fabric I got from Minerva, and it was a gift in return for a blog post. which I have yet to submit, but I'll let you guys know when that goes live. And it's the softest, stretchiest, loveliest, most comfortable denim I have ever worked with. It almost feels like moleskin, it's that soft, and it's kind of an indigo blue, and I realise that's hard to see on screen, so I hope you're going to pick up some of the details of these trousers. But anyway, stop talking and show you what they're like. I'm going to stand up. I feel like a sailor today. I've got my red shoes on and my stripy top, so I might have to do a hornpipe or something when I stand up. But let me show you the waist to start with. So you can see how high-waisted these trousers are. They come right up to my natural waist, and you can tell where your natural waist is by just bending to the side, and wherever the crease is, that's your natural waist. So taking that 1/4 inch out of the rise has now stopped these trousers from bending over when I sit down. They're actually in the perfect place. I went down a size because I knew there was quite a lot of stretch. I'll just try and turn around to show you. I hope you can see. I am going to put a twirl in a minute, so you'll get to see them a bit better. But I put a trouser, I don't know, what's that called? A trouser clasp? Don't know. Anyway, I put a popper in here and a mustard zip. Now, the mustard zip was a bit of an accident. Not an accident, but do you sometimes get a bit lazy when you're sewing and you're so excited about what you're making, you're just like, oh, that'll do, that'll be fine, that'll be all right. And I'd already bought a jeans zip for these trousers in preparation for making them. And it's a metal zip. Obviously, jeans zips are more heavy duty. And because I'd shortened the rise by a 1/4 inch, the zip needed to be shorter too. Now, I've shortened ordinary zips before, dress zips and things, but I've never shortened a metal zip, and I'm sure it's not that complicated. And I did actually even find that Tilly had put instructions on the website how to shorten a metal zip. But I was just feeling a bit lazy, and I thought, oh, well, this mustard zip is the perfect length. So mustard and navy blue go really well together. Let's just go with the mustard zip. And I'm pleased with it. I don't mind it at all. But the only thing is, I'm slightly concerned that one of these days I'm going to sit down, the zip's going to like pop open, and then, you know, then I'm going to have to replace the zip. And a fly front is, I mean, it's not a beginner's sewing. The way Tilly describes it, there's a video, it's easy enough to follow through the video, so it's not tricky. If you've made garments before, you can manage to get this zip in, but to take it out after you've made the whole garment and replace it, not really, I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to put a twirl in so you can see the full length of them right now. So that's those trousers, and I have to say I think I found the holy grail of wide leg trousers because they're so comfortable. I wore them out for dinner last night, yeah, and because they've got stretch in them, there's no sagging or bagging. They stay exactly the way I wanted them to fit. So a big thumbs up for the Jessa trousers. Yeah, so let's move on to the next make. So the next thing I made, what shall we do now? Shall we mix it up a bit? Have a little bit of, let's have some fabric pens. So you guys might already know or might not know that Arteza contacted me a while ago and asked me if I would like to be sent some of their products in exchange for a review. And you know, I like a product as long as it's sewing related and it's going to be interesting to you guys. And I think these fabric pens are sewing related, so you could use them in for t-shirts and clothing and stuff. But I really wanted to show you the wide range of colours that these pens have got, and they're not like any other fabric pen I've ever had before. Usually I would buy, I think IKEA used to do fabric pens in a pack. And you literally get like a basic set of maybe 4 colours. And what I've done in the past is at Christmas time, the kids have had t-shirts and they've decorated them using the fabric pens, drawn sort of Christmas trees or things on them, and then I've made them pyjama bottoms to go with those tops. And I've done that the last couple of years and they really enjoy that, drawing on the fabric. But these pens, they're not like those pens. They are premium quality fabric pens. I've recorded a little bit of the process just to show you, but I will just show you. I'm so pleased with this. I'll just show you what I made. So look at the colours on that. I decided to go with a chameleon because, you know, chameleons are such bright and colourful creatures, so I could really showcase the pens and all the different colours. But these are really just a step above an ordinary fabric pen, and I'll just show you. So I wanted to make the pencil case so I could keep them in. That's just a few of them. So you get 30 in a packet, and it comes with all these different colours, and they're double-ended. So I'm going to pop in a little video of the process of making this. I cut the outline out on my Cricut machine, so hopefully you'll find that interesting. So let's move on to something else I've sewn. My brother and his girlfriend are due a baby in about 2 weeks, so I'm really lucky because I was an auntie just before Christmas when my sister had her baby, and my brother's due his baby in a couple of weeks' time. So I wanted to make them a nice handmade gift for the baby, and I have gone with the Dandelion dungarees from Sew Over It. So this is made using this really soft, snuggly French terry with little bunny rabbits on. I'll just hold it back here. It's really tiny, it's really cute. I've lined it with some grey, can you see that? Green, it's almost like a teal green Ponte Roma that I already had in my stash. And the last thing to do with these bad boys is put the buttonhole in. And I'm being a bit of a wimp about it. I just need to get on and do it. Do you ever find that when you make something, the buttonholes, they're the last thing to get done because this is finished. This looks awesome. This is done. And now I might wreck it by putting those buttonholes in. I've just got to get my big girl pants on and do it, but that's in the pipeline. I've got 2 weeks. So next thing, let's talk about the Sirocco. Now, this has been all over Instagram, the Sirocco jumpsuit. Everybody I've seen make this jumpsuit looks fabulous in it. I asked my mum for the pattern for Christmas, and I wasn't disappointed. I absolutely love my Sirocco jumpsuit. And I think it's partially because I made it for a special occasion. So you might already know, if you've been watching my vlog for a while, that my husband's grandfather died just before Christmas, and he was an RAF group captain in the war and had the Distinguished Flying Cross, and, you know, was a well-accomplished fighter pilot. And for the funeral, he had stipulated that he wished for his grandsons to carry the coffin, and they decided they were going to wear grey. So I wanted to make something to wear alongside my husband that was grey, that was almost suit-like, but not a suit. And I just found the perfect fabric in FabricLand when they were closing down. That's also a previous vlog when we went fabric shopping. And it didn't stay in my stash very long, this grey Ponte, because I thought, you know what, that's going to make an awesome Sirocco. So the Sirocco jumpsuit's got kind of like a tapered leg. It's got all this interesting pleating and lovely pockets. They're not inseam pockets. They are, what's the name of that kind of pocket? They sit on the front of your hip. They're much more flattering than inseam pockets. They've got a waistband and no fastenings. So the important thing that you must not ignore with this pattern is the 60% stretch requirement, because you will not get in it. And there was about 20 minutes whilst I was making this garment where I was thinking, I'm not going to get in this. It's not stretchy enough, because I didn't take any notice. So heed my advice. Yeah, I think the Ponte had about 50% stretch. If I really pulled it hard, I could get 55% stretch. And I'm really glad that I didn't make any decisions to change the sizing that the measurements suggested. It's very accurate. So not only do they give you your measurements on the pattern, they also give you the finished garment measurements. And if I hadn't have checked those, I might have thought, oh, well, there'll be ease in the pattern, I'll make a smaller size. It would not fit me. I made a size 40. It says that you can use medium weight jersey or interlock knit with elastane, good recovery, and at least 60% stretch. So don't ignore that. So I'm going to go and pop it on in a minute so you can see it on, but I'll just show you the fabric. It's kind of hard to see because, you know, it's a dark colour again, but you can see it's got this amazing sort of pleating detail. And when I was making this, because I knew it was for a special occasion, I wanted it to be perfect. So I really did take my time over it. I tacked all the pleats down before I sewed them. I made most of it actually on my overlocker, but I stabilised the shoulder seams. I don't remember whether or not that was in the instructions, but I tend to do that anyway on knit fabrics. Yeah, and like I said, there was about 20 minutes in the middle of making this where I was like, I don't think I'm going to get it on. I don't think I'm going to get it on. And then I put it on and I was like, whew, thank goodness. I mean, it's not easy to get out of. That's the harder bit. And the next time I do make this, I will make it out of a stretchier fabric. But I am going to go and pop this on, and then I'll record a twirl of me wearing it in a minute. So here we are. Whenever I put this thing on, I just feel really special in it. I don't know what it is. I think it's the way it's cut. It's just really flattering, comfortable. Almost feels like a giant adult baby grow, but you look special in it, if you know what I mean. So secret pyjamas, definitely. So you can see it's got this lovely low V at the front, which is nice actually. I don't often wear low cut tops, but because you've got so much of a block colour with it being all in one, it's actually quite nice to have that V at the front there. Short sleeves, there are, I'm going to stand up, hopefully you're going to see, if not I can put pictures in, but we've got 2 pleats here and then corresponding pleats underneath. Now these pleats cause me a little bit of head scratching because you need to get them the right way. You need to fold the fabric and it's a bit like a puzzle, so do look at the line drawing and make sure that you get these pleats folded the right way. Then you've got the pocket, which is just a gorgeous shape here. Lovely big pockets, but they don't add too much in the way of bulk at the hip, which is nice. And a neckband all the way around, which I sewed on my overlocker, and then really gently tapered legs down to sort of, I've stopped mine just at ankle length because I wore these with a pair of grey heels and a grey leopard print scarf, and what else did I wear? I think I just wore a navy blue coat with it, and I just felt really comfortable. but really put together. It was a lovely, lovely service. He would have absolutely been blown away because so many people came. The RAF came, there was a group captain and a wing commander there, and he had the standard on his coffin. My husband helped to carry the coffin, and just after they lowered him into the grave, Hunter Hawk flew past and dipped its wing in tribute as the RAF men saluted him. So it was an emotional day, but it was a fitting tribute to an amazing man. So yeah, I don't know what else to say really. Sad, but also amazing. So, let me just, before I forget, insert a twirl of this jumpsuit. So if you're thinking about making the Sirocco, just make sure you pick the right fabric. It's got enough stretch in it. You do have to pull it on and off through the neck hole. I would say definitely tack your pleats down, hand tack them down. Definitely make a really good job of your darts and make sure that everything lines up, because they do correspond above the waistband. And on the side seams, I'll just show you here, that is kind of tricky to get that to line up, and I did unpick it once because if it's not quite lined up, it doesn't look quite right. But you know, I'm all about the details, and I wanted this to be perfect, and I'm glad that I got it spot on. So next and final make. Oh, I feel like I'm rambling today. I think it's because it's sunny for the first time in a few days. It's not raining, and I'm getting excited because I had a whole heap of fabric delivered yesterday. So I'm gonna do a fabric haul vlog for you next. The last thing I'm going to show you though is another Minerva blogger network make. So this was gifted fabric in return for a post. It's made with this pattern here. So I bought this one in, I think I bought this when FabricLand closed down as well, or maybe not, maybe the week beforehand. But I had received, as you will be aware if you saw a previous vlog, this scuba crepe from Minerva. And I really wanted to make the most of the pattern because it's got the most beautiful dark floral pattern on it. And I looked on Pinterest for some inspiration. I have to be honest, I'm not really a girly girl. I don't normally wear a lot of flowy skirts and big florals, but I thought if I styled it with a leather jacket and some biker boots, actually that would look really kind of cool and not quite so girly. And yeah, I'm happy with what I ended up with. The pattern itself is Simplicity 8474. I hadn't seen this one before. It's a pattern hacking pattern, so you've got several variations on here. You can go for a high-low hem. They've got a version with a pick-up on the side where you put tabs on to hoist the sides up. There's a skirt with an overlay here, and then a high-low with a ruffle, which I thought was kind of cute. I don't know if you can see that very well. It's kind of dark in here today. So yeah, I made the small. Going by my body measurements, I should have made the medium, but like with all these commercial patterns, there's always quite a bit of ease. So I did check the finished garment measurements to make sure that that would fit. Knowing that it was stretchy fabric, you've got a bit of room for manoeuvre anyway. So I'd never sewn with scuba crepe before, and it was really easy to use. It doesn't feel the same as ordinary crepe, it's softer. I mean, not crepe, scuba, you know what I mean. Doesn't feel like scuba usually does. It's got a softer handle to it. It's much more drapey than an ordinary scuba would be because of the crepe element. And it's got sort of like a little textured edge to the fabric. And This skirt is simple, I'm telling you. You make the whole thing on your overlocker. You've got this big yoga waistband, which you have the option to put elastic in if you want, but I didn't. And it's so comfy. I can't tell you how comfy it is. So I ran this up in literally probably about an hour. The skirt is sort of a gentle A-line shape. And again, I'm going to put some photos in so you can see it better. But there's not really a lot to say. There's the front skirt, the back skirt, the front waistband, the back waistband, and then you're facing for the waistband. And that's all there is really. The only thing I would say with this fabric is if you stretch it too much, it changes colour. So it goes kind of a white colour. And I'm guessing that's because it's a digital print. So yeah, try not to stretch it too much. I did sort of stand scratching my head for a while thinking that waistband looks slightly different. It's not quite the same colour, but I think it's because it was stretched. But it doesn't matter because I normally wear this with a roll neck jumper, a black roll neck, and it covers the waistband anyway. So yeah, I would recommend this pattern if you want a really quick, comfy yoga style skirt. And like I said, you can hack this into different lengths, and I think it would be quite good for the summer. So there we are. That was what I made in December and January. I did also make another couple of things. I used the Arteza glitter heat transfer vinyl that was gifted to me to make this cushion, which I showed you in the last vlog. This kitchen is for dancing. This is just an envelope back cushion with a couple of snaps on the back to keep it shut. I also made my daughter a pair of slippers for Christmas. So she has left them at Granny's house today. So I'll pop a picture of those in for you to see. And oh, my daughter, she was keen to have a cat on her jumper. So I'll pop a picture of that in here too. And if you're interested in any of those Arteza products, there is an affiliate link down below. I'm not all about the hard sell. I'm never going to agree to selling stuff or showing you stuff that isn't somehow related to sewing. But if you do click on that link, it doesn't cost you any more money. It just tells Arteza that I sent you there, basically. And I get a small amount of commission, which, you know, all good. Right, I think that's it for today. If you've enjoyed my video, please do subscribe and press that like and the notification bell for the next video. It is going to be a fabric haul. I've had 4 pieces of gorgeous fabric delivered the last couple of days, and I'm full of ideas for plans for what I'm going to do with them. You can follow me on Instagram too if you want to see updates in between time. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!